Most of us look out into the world and without further thought accept that the cars, tables and trees are just there. But very few of us acknowledge that this physicalist and mechanistic view of the universe only gained prominence with the rise of the scientific revolution. So what does it mean for something to be there, let alone physical? These views, which assert that reality solely composed of physical matter can explain all phenomena, including consciousness, have dominated modern Western thought since the 18th century. Yet, a closer examination reveals that these perspectives are limited to the point of almost being deceptive in their portrayal of reality. Although these paradigms have led to significant advancements in technology and science, they also come with limitations that have restricted our understanding of consciousness and the nature of reality itself. In this section, we will investigate the historical context and the philosophical arguments that have perpetuated these views. And we will explore the counter-arguments that suggest a more holistic understanding of existence. By questioning the very grounding of materialistic thought, we pave the way for exploring how consciousness is not merely a byproduct of physical processes, but rather a fundamental aspect of reality itself. So let's begin. Although there are many contributors towards this mechanistic approach, it's difficult not to start this story with René Descartes. He laid the foundation for the mechanistic understanding of the universe. René Descartes' philosophy introduced dualism, separating mind and body. His famous 1637 dictum, cogito ergo sum, or I think therefore I am, emphasized the certainty of self-consciousness, while relegating the physical world to the realm of mechanistic laws. This reduction of physical phenomena to mechanistic interactions paved the way for materialism. With that said, a very easy counter-argument to this dictum is, I think therefore there are thoughts. By focusing on the existence of thoughts as evidence of mental activity without speculating on the self, this perspective questions the leap from presence of thought to the affirmation of a singular continuous thinker. Although there are many arguments against this famous statement, it is very much a philosophical quote everyone knows, and it is here to stay. Another key proponent for the mechanistic belief is Pierre-Simon Laplace. In his 1840 work Essai philosophique sur les probabilités, or a philosophical essay on probabilities, excuse my French, Laplace discusses the idea of a hypothetical intellect, later termed Laplace's demon, that if it knew the precise location and momentum of every atom in the universe at a given time, could predict the future and retrospectively the past. This concept epitomizes classical determinism, where the universe is viewed as a vast, predictable machine governed by the laws of physics. This reinforced a materialistic view of reality as a closed deterministic system, leaving little room for free will or consciousness as an active agent. In contemporary times, this is extended within the philosophy of functionalism. Hilary Putnam, an American philosopher, is often credited for the formulation of functionalism as a theory of mind in the 1960s. He proposed that mental states should be understood by their functional role, that is, how they interact with other mental states, sensory inputs, and behavioral outputs, rather than by their physical and biological makeup. His work laid the foundation for functionalism as a key theory in philosophy of mind. It is important to note that, although initially Putnam was known for his contributions to functionalism, over time Putnam became increasingly critical of strict materialist and physicalist views. For example, Putnam's twin Earth thought experiment imagines a planet identical to Earth in every way except the substance called water, which is chemically different. This scenario raises questions about the relationship between mind, language, and reality by illustrating that the meaning of terms like water depend not only on internal mental states, but also on the external factors, challenging the notion that meaning are purely mental, suggesting that there is a more complex play happening between language and the world. Although these philosophies remain widely referenced and influential in discussions about the nature of the universe, their validity has been shown to be limiting in light of advancements in modern physics, which have shown elements of indeterminism and complexity that challenges the deterministic viewpoint they have represented. It's hard to discuss reality without mentioning the Matrix. It's even harder not to mention Plato. In his allegory of the cave, on which the Matrix is based, Plato illustrates how the material world is a mere shadow of a higher reality composed of perfect, immutable forms. Human perception is limited to shadows of the true reality, suggesting that materialism fails to capture the essence of existence. Plato posits that ultimate truth, or the logos, exists beyond the physical world and can only be grasped through intellectual reasoning and philosophical inquiry. This hints at the primacy of consciousness in perceiving true reality. Immanuel Kant took this further in 1781 with his concept of Transcendental idealism, arguing that our experience of reality is shaped by our mind structures. We can never know things as they are, that is, the noumena, only as they appear to us, that is, the phenomena. This directly challenges the materialist view by asserting that the mind is actively shaping our perception of reality rather than just participating. Two modern philosophers which further strongly challenge physicalism and the Cartesian logic is Henri Bergson and Alfred Whitehead. Henri Bergson's philosophy of time and consciousness, particularly his concept of duration, emphasizes the fluid, dynamic nature of reality, which cannot be captured by static, mechanistic descriptions. He argues that true time, or duration, cannot be broken down into discrete, homogeneous units without losing its essential quality. Duration is the lived experience of time, marked by a continuous flow that cannot be adequately captured by the spatialized, quantized conception of time used in science and mathematics. For Bergson, consciousness and inner life are characterized by this continuous flow of duration. He believes that our inner experience cannot be fully understood through the analytical, abstract methods favored by the Cartesian logic. That is, consciousness cannot be reduced to mere quantities or spatial coordinates. Instead, they require an intuitive grasp of their temporal evolving nature. Furthermore, Alfred Whitehead offers a more holistic view of reality that challenges the reductionist tendencies of physicalism. In his 1929 work, Process and Reality, he argues that reality is fundamentally composed of dynamic processes and events rather than static substances. Whitehead introduced the concept of actual occasions or actual entities as the basic units of reality. Each actual occasion is the process of coming into being, involving a complex interaction of other actual occasions. This becoming is categorized by both physical and mental aspects, integrating aspects of experience and physical reality. Inevitably, this means that experience or subjective perception is a fundamental component of reality, not merely a byproduct of physical processes. By attributing experiential qualities to all entities, Whitehead moves beyond the purely physicalist framework, which focuses on matter and physical processes alone. The limiting stance that is usually taken by physicalists and materialists. If you find this content helpful or at least entertaining, please help by liking and subscribing. Your support truly matters. In conclusion, although materialism and physicalism may have contributed to the creation of some key equipment, they are ultimately insufficient beliefs for a comprehensive understanding of reality, and in some instances may actually be detrimental to our existence. The critiques from key philosophers underscore the limitation of these worldviews, revealing how they fail to account for the fundamental role of consciousness. From Plato to Kant to Bergson and Whitehead, it is evident that these arguments from a mechanistic worldview falls short in fully explaining the complexities of reality and consciousness. But this exploration is not solely to point out logical errors in history. This series ambitiously aims to open awareness to the most empowering understanding of all, how consciousness is the creator of reality. Next, we will explore the malleability of reality and how our awareness is fundamentally shaping our world through thought and belief. Thank you for joining, and stay tuned.